Okay, so you guys remember that last FNAF video I made? No, not that one. The last FNAF video I put out. Yeah, that one. So in recording that video, I ended up going into a bunch of rants, talking about different things, and, well, I decided to cut them because I was getting too off topic. Which is why I decided to make their own videos to be able to talk about them properly. Hence, this one. Now, one of the main points I started talking about was to what extent were the animatronics moving by robotic means, and what was because of the spirits, and what exactly they could do. Let's talk about it. Okay, so what animatronics do we know that can move around on their own without the help of the spirits? Well, there are the toy animatronics who are specifically designed to go towards sound, the Funtime animatronics, and the spring-lock suits that were specifically designed to walk towards sound, similar to the toy animatronics. The nightmares don't count, frankly any main animatronic from the Mega Pizzaplex, but I'm not gonna go that far into the future. But yeah, I feel like most of the animatronics have an explanation as to why they walk around. Like, I feel like that was one of the biggest innovations Henry made that popularized the restaurants, other than the fact that bears don't exist anymore. But yeah, you know, especially back then when robots in general couldn't really walk, and if they could, it was either on tires or treadmills or something similar to that. So walking automaton was more of a thing in science fiction than in reality, much like the bears in the FNAF universe. But we do have evidence of some animatronics that move on their own without the help of motorized mechanical methods. Some of the more obvious examples are Freddy, who could teleport and apparate around without any constraint. Heck, he's sometimes just a floating head, so he's more leaning towards the non-physical, incorporeal form sometimes. Which is something they probably learned how to do because, as we all know, Freddy has a spring-lock suit in suit mode. So they literally don't have the mechanisms to be able to walk around and move like everyone else. It also helps that there are two souls stuck in that suit, so, you know, twice the flower power, eh? Now, the next one on the list is the puppet, or the marionette. Now, we know the puppet can go anywhere and move in a physical sense because, for one, we see her move around. A lot. Example A, example B, and example C. Also, the phone guy said so.
I'll be honest, I never liked that puppet thing. It's always thinking, and it can go anywhere.
But it's rather unclear whether this was because of the animatronic or the spirit. Because like previously, before FNAF 6, we thought her movement was mostly ghostly because it was shown that the marionette had strings, so the animatronic was limited by them. You know, until Pizza Simulator came around and showed us in fact that it wasn't limited. Like, Prepossessed Puppet was able to just walk around the pizzeria, but like, you could just say that they had a whole rail line system, so the puppet could like move around freely inside the pizzeria, but then it just goes outside in the pouring rain and dies. So like, can it go outside? Does it have like any restraints? What, did Henry like build rails outside so it could also do that? In the back alley? Why? Frankly, I'm more surprised that it can move around because that thing looks top heavy. Side note, sometimes I find people saying that this security puppet is the same as this security puppet, which apart from the fact that they don't look the same, I don't think it is. Because for one, these minigames show us things from the past. You know, Midnight Motor shows us debatably the Afton household, and right before he killed Charlie, Fruity May shows us Susie and how she was lured by Spring Bonnie, and Security Puppet shows us how Charlie died. But I feel like the security puppet in the past was just made for security, right? While this new one was both made for security and entertainment as seen in the catalog. Like, diegetically, the minigames are real. You play them. You play Fruity Maze and you play Midnight Motorist. So it would be reasonable to assume that the security puppet minigame is a real game too, no? So this would be a new version of the security puppet. Although, considering it's found in the Rare Finds catalog, it makes it seem more like it was an antique item that somehow stayed in pristine condition. But considering every other item, I doubt it. Anyways, after the puppet, we have the most seemingly left-field animatronic of all. Well, if you're not brain-rotted already by Fazgoo, then you wouldn't know. And it's Mangle. Yes, the Mangle. And there's some pretty good evidence that this amorphous mechanized murder machine mostly moves around through spirit energy. If we see in the emails from Special Delivery, there is one that talks about how they're having trouble getting Mangle to function like how she originally did. specifically by getting it to crawl on the ceiling, but even more so they can't even get the normal thing to walk properly. Ah yes, the life of an engineer. So this is more evidence that the Mangle was able to move around, more so because it was haunted by the spirit of a dead child. Or a dog. I mean, it's either that or Henry's just that good at robotics, and I could see how that would drive William insanely jealous. Because with those skills, man, he should have worked at NASA. So what do we have so far? Well, we know there are some animatronics that can move around without being possessed, and there are some that needs the spirits of a dead child to move around. Yeah, like we already didn't know that. But yeah, there's a spectrum of animatronics that move using only the endo, and animatronics that can only move because of the spirits. The question being, where does it stop? Like, how far can the spirits take the animatronics? Like, you know, with their ghostly abilities. Because Glowing Freddy can teleport and cause hallucinations, but he can't move. The puppet can move freely inside and out of the building, but it's trapped in a box. Springtrap moves freely as well and can also cause hallucinations, but he's lured by children's laughter. It seems to me that the spirit's control of the animatronics stop when the AI kicks in, which makes sense as to how these are able to roam about more freely than the others. Well, I mean, the puppet is a bit weird since you'd think her programming broke in the rain, but they probably just rebuilt it. Also Agony, but I really don't want to get into that. But as far as we could tell, the spirits have free reign up until the programming set limitations. So yeah, tell me what you think in the comments below. I really don't know how to end this video, so I'll just keep it short and sweet. Like and comment, like and subscribe if you like. Dislike or dislike this video if you have an opinion. Comment down below, subscribe. Thank you. Good night or good morning, whatever. Bye. Well, there are the toy animatronics who are specifically designed to go towards the sound. the sound. I sound like Starfire.